Welcome back to another edition of No Comfort Zone Selling. My name's Dan Brzezowski. We're here to get you out of your comfort zone and help you sell your next vehicle. I hope you're taking this stuff seriously right now because we're getting to the meat of the deal. We're getting to the part of the sales transaction that's the most important. If you're with a customer, it's your responsibility that you spend 80% of your time going over the features, the advantages, and the benefits of what's important to a customer to identify that you're actually interested in them as a human being and you're My name is Dan Brzezowski, and my hope is to help you sell your next vehicle by getting you up and out of your comfort zone and start selling on purpose and living with purpose. Listen, this is the hard part of the sales process because we come to that point where we're going to spend 80% of our time with the customer if we're doing it right. And that's going through the features, the advantages, and the benefits of what's important to your customer, not to you. Let's face it, you have to know 100% about your vehicles if you're going to be a professional, and you're going to have to know 100% about your competitors' vehicles. You're going to have to know 100% about what's important to your customer, and the way that you're going to do that with your customer is by asking high-quality questions. We've talked about it time and time again, but I'll share with you this. If you want to sell more cars and make more money and actually have more fun doing it, be prepared with your questions. Because what it comes down to at the end of the day, the person that's asking questions is the one that has control. You don't tell your way through a sale, you ask your way through a sale. But there does come a time and place where you're going to start telling your customer the information that you have for them. And this is the point where it matters. This is the point where the rubber meets the road. And here's how you do it. See, Ben Franklin a long time ago came up with a concept that if you give somebody enough features and the benefits, they're likely going to buy from you, as long as the features benefit them. And that's what I want to tell you about the automobile business today. All too often, we move past the presentation of the automobile. We take the demonstration process of having the customer take visual ownership of their vehicle for granted. Stop it. If you want to sell more cars and you want to make more money and you want to do it in less time, get real perfect when it comes to giving a feature, advantage, benefit presentation. So what's a feature? It basically is what is on the vehicle. For example, here's an old one. This shows you how long I've been selling cars for. A long time ago, anti-lock brakes became really important. Some people were afraid of them, some people loved them, some people actually had to have them on their next vehicle. And now every vehicle that's out there has anti-lock brakes. Why is that? Because safety is important to a lot of customers, and the engineers design the vehicles to be safe. So the feature is anti-lock brakes. That's just that simple. This vehicle has anti-lock brakes. But be careful, because if you list all of the features to a vehicle, what you've done is you've increased the cost of the vehicle and you've lowered the value. Then when you go inside to work out a deal, it's, hey, what's it going to take to sell you a car today? And the customer's going to go, how low can you go? And it becomes a battle. I'm not interested in selling cars that way. I'm interested in getting as much as I possibly can, and the way to do that is by going over the features, the advantages, and the benefits. Feature is what it is, the advantage is what it does, and the benefit is what it does for the customer. For example, anti-lock brakes is the feature on the vehicle, ABS. That's another thing too, really quick on a side note. Get out of your comfort zone and stop using the acronyms. Don't use ABS. Call it anti-lock braking system. Call it that. It's an anti-lock braking system, and what it does, it actually is going to help you maintain controllability in a braking situation. Like, for example, when you're on ice, or when your vehicle starts to hydroplane because you're on water when it's raining so much. But let's take another step forward on that one. When it comes to anti-lock braking system, what's the benefit of having it to the customer? Well, while you and your family, and always use a story, while you and your family are in the vehicle, and let's say the weather is inclement, what's going to happen is as you brake the vehicle, you know that you're going to have total control of the vehicle because it has, go back to the acronym, anti-lock braking. That's not even selling. That's just going over the features, the advantages, and the benefit. Now here's where you get out of your comfort zone, and here's where you start selling on purpose, with purpose, because the person who's asking the questions has the control. And the salesperson who asks the question, how it's going to benefit the customer and gets buy-in, is the one who's going to actually maintain value, they're going to maintain profitability, and they're going to delight the customer with their professionalism, because the whole presentation was targeted to the features, the advantages, and the benefits. But more importantly, it goes back to that first initial greeting sequence. Remember when we said welcome with a big smile on our face and we asked them those questions, what's most important to them? We're having real rapport with the customer versus what's your favorite football team? Come on, let's talk about what's important to the customer. And if safety is important to them, going over the anti-lock braking system, going to the advantages of having that and the benefit to customers through a story. But here's where the rubber hits the road for real. This is when you ask the customer that one really important question. Can you see some value in having the anti-lock braking system in your vehicle? Yeah, as a matter of fact, we can, Dan. It's kind of nice to have the anti-lock braking system, isn't it? And the customer's going to say to you, yeah, it sure is. Then you move on to the next feature, the advantage and the benefit, whatever it might be. It might be crumple zones. It might be like, for example, on the Hondas, they have the ACE body structure too. Advanced compatibility engineering. What it does is basically there's spots that are vulnerable in an accident where the vehicle will give up its life and absorb the energy, send it around the cabin in order to protect the occupants that are driving the vehicle or that are in the vehicle. I mean, when it comes down to having a ACE body structure, you can see some value in that, can't you? It is nice to have that added safety, isn't it? And so what we need to understand is that value confirmed is value paid for. And I can't tell you enough, don't move to the next step until you have identified what's important to the customer and the value that's confirmed by asking the question, can you see some value in that? It's huge and we all miss that. So my hope for you in this video segment is to understand the features of your vehicle, go over the advantages of what the features are to the customer, and the benefits.